Hey everyone, this is Cooking with Thomas, and I'm going to show you how to do some roasted garden vegetables with a tangy lemon breadcrumbs. We don't want bread crust. I don't know what bread crust is. So far, I've already minced up some garlic, of course. That is my new handy dandy trend. I've got some oregano, basil, and a mess, right? Because this is my soon-to-be workstation, apparently. So the first things first, I'm going to take my Balsamic Glaze, which is a half reduction of balsamic vinaigrette with honey, boiled down, restored, cooled, and having fun. I need 2 tablespoons, right? 2 tablespoons. 1 and 2, right? The reason why I'm putting that in there is so that way I don't get everything else dirty. I'm going to put that off to the side. I have my handy dandy extra virgin olive oil right here. We're going to do a half a cup. Do that. And now we have our basil. Most of the time we want to use fresh. Right now I don't have any fresh, but I also have had this for a little bit, so I want to, what? Oregano. Oh, oregano. Basil. Oregano, basil, right? Don't mind me, this is oregano. Either way, it's still the same, 3 teaspoons, right? So either way, you want fresh. Fresh is always best, right? So I don't have any fresh, either basil or oregano. So, but we have this, we're going to use this up, get rid of it, so that way we can get some fresh, right? So, oregano. Now this one doesn't uncap, right? Because it's a grinder. This pissed me off the other night, right? So we have to guess. This is why fresh is better too. You don't have to worry about this stuff. And we're going to call that 3. It's probably not even close to 3, but hey, I don't want to waste your time, nor do I want to waste my time. But hopefully you forgive me. Hopefully I forgive myself. That's the real question. Alright, I need a whisk. Handy dandy whisk. Hey look, another whisk. We're going to mix this all together into a nice, fine smelling dressing. Right? I know what you're thinking. What is he gonna do with that? Well, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Now, we're gonna put this off to the side. Alright. I do need these are already washed. Alright, so we have our zucchini, we have our carrots, we have our fennel, and we have our red onions. We're actually going to just chop away. If anybody out there loves me and feels sorry for me, for the love of God, get me a knife. I swear. So yes, as you start getting better with your cooking, knives are vitally important. You should have the proper tools and utensils for your trade. Unfortunately, for now, this is what I have to make deal with, so I have to deal with it. So all we're doing is pretty much cutting these until our eyes water. Ugh. Good thing my hair is in the way. There is supposed to be a trick with onions. Now there is actually a trick with yellow onions. There is a trick with all onions, right? So what you do is if you actually take one half, if you don't take off both tops, you just do one top, right? So if you take off one top, right, cut it in half, leave the other half on, and then start from where you've already cut. The enzymes won't release as much, and you can cut it fairly easily without wanting to die. The feels are real, guys. I'm just kidding. It's really the onions. Oh my gosh, I hate onions sometimes. Whew. I love onions, but then I also hate them at the same time. Now I know what you're thinking, like, why am I cutting it into such large strips, right? The reason why is because I'm going to break them down. And then I'm going to mix them. Right? Raw. I feel like I just watched Marley and Me again. Oh. All right, next, zucchini. Chop off the edges. About a 3/4 inch slice. Alright, we're just going to throw them in our bowl because they're all going to be mixed together. I feel like I threw something that shouldn't be in there. We're going to use, sorry. When your sinuses are running, make sure you clean them out. You don't want to get people sick. Bad, bad, bad. Hygiene is important. Muy importante. I lost me a bell pepper. Bell pepper down! Alright. Oh, 3. I was trying to figure out how many I'm cutting. Trying to math in my head is not very good while I'm crying over spilt milk. So as you get better with this, cutting becomes a little bit easier. Certain vegetables are way easier to cut to begin with, overall. So you don't have to worry too much about that. Alrighty. Alright, 3 zucchini. Trying to escape. Alright. Carrots. These I'm going to do a little bit differently. But I like carrots because I think I was a rabbit in my previous life. Ooh. finger. We're going to have them now. This is where a sharp knife comes in handy, right? And then we're going to try and have it again to the best of our ability. We don't want to cut ourselves. And then we're going to have it, right? So if you didn't see that the first time, have, and then have again. Now if you noticed, I'm not slicing all the way through the carrot, right? What I'm actually doing is I'm putting pressure on it. So I start my incision, I come down, I push, it goes through the knife, I slide it through, I come down a little bit, and then I finish the rest of the cut, right? The reason why I do that is because, one, my knife isn't the greatest, right, overall. Two, because carrots tend to be a little bit thicker and harder, you don't want to cut yourself, so I'm not trying to force it through. I'm using leverage and finesse. That's what you want to do. The only time I'm truly cutting all the way through is the ends, and then I just rinse and repeat. Even at this side, I start my incision, I get through most of it, I push it forward, I go down, I push right on the edge, push more, and then voila. Now if I miss a section, I go back and I do the same. I don't try and force my way through the carrot. See, this is what happens when you force your way through the carrot. It doesn't go through. So I start at the end, bam, bam. See how much easier that was? You can also do it this way, so that way you have a flat surface and you can actually see easier, right? Because flat surfaces make easier. You know, I like to make my life a little bit harder, so I try to do things back-asswards. Now this recipe actually only calls for 2 carrots. Like I said before, I think I was a rabbit in my previous life, and I love carrots. But I did do 2 carrots previously, and it just wasn't enough, right? I just felt that it needed more carrots, right? Just needed more carrots. So, what do? I give it more carrots. Okay. What next? Bell pepper. We're going to take out the seeds. I do this a little bit differently because I'm strange. So I cork it. Now this is not the proper way to cork anything, but because I don't know the proper way and I'm too lazy to look it up on YouTube, I just mess around with it. See? So I take it out. Now, just to make sure I gotten all of the seeds out, I then break it, cut it in half, right? See, there's still some seeds in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of water and rinse it out. Okay. And then this actually calls for it to be, see, peppers are one of those thick-skinned items. See, but if you go in from the inside, you can cut it a lot easier. So it's supposed to be cut into 4 halves. I'm going to cut it into thinner strips just because I think it's going to be better that way. And then I'm going to have it. Now some people will actually take off that white part I don't know if it's that big of a deal. I haven't died yet. Keyword is yet. But you never know. I think it tastes good. I love bell peppers. I love veggies. Like, let's be honest, I just love veggies. Like, veggies are so, so good. Expect, you know, you can grill them, you can fry them, you can saute them, you can boil them, steam them. I mean, you can do so much with it. You can put dressing on it. Just, there's so much stuff you can do with veggies that just makes it so good and so edible. You know? And it changes the flavoring too. Like, you know, a grilled veggie is not the same as a steamed veggie, which isn't the same as a baked veggie, which isn't the same. I mean, have you guys figured out I love veggies? If you want to, you can get me a shirt. I'll wear it. I love veggies. I'll do it for you guys. I'll do it. Even though it hurts my heart. Alright. I'm only going to do one bell pepper, because that's all it asks for. So, alrighty. Do you know what this is? It's Frankenstein. This is a fennel, right? I've never played with a fennel before. This is my first time. So what I was told is if you cut off said stalks, right? You get this nice celery looking phalange thing. You can actually use this. Smells so good though. So you can use this by itself. You can cook the stalks. You can strip off the they call them fronds, Frondas. You can use that as an herb, put it in stocks, things like that. So we're gonna save these because I'm going to make some salads, or we're going to make some salads later on this week. And then this is the bulb. It's Fennel Bulb. We're going to then stock it, right? And then it said just like the onion, you can have it and then you can cut it into strips. Oh, I was actually supposed to cork it. I forgot. So there is a cork in this thing, right? It's really hard to see. See it right there? You actually do want to take that out. So we'll figure the rest out here in a second because it might be easier just to do what I just did, right? God, that smells so good. I'm a weirdo. I love veggies. So I'm just messing around with this thing. I just want to cut it and just see what it's all about. The recipe actually says to cut it cut in half and then quartered, right? So quartered essentially means, so I just cut it in half. And then you pretty much cut it into half again, quartered, right? But because I want to play around with this thing and have fun with it and see what it's all about, I'm going to do me. So kids, don't play with knives, otherwise you might cut yourself, which I might end up doing. Alright, so quarter, pretty much see how it's in half, bam, quartered, right? I think that's a little bit preoccupied, so I think we're going to, actually it should be fine, because when we break it up, see how it just breaks up like an onion? It has layers. It has layers like an onion. Cakes! Cakes! No, that was horrible. We'll never do that again. Sorry! New donkey. New. Alright. So, we have our vegetables. And I made a mess. But that's okay. I would recommend getting them made. And then you can cook for her, and she'll be happy, and she'll be okay with cleaning up after you. Well, maybe. Maybe. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take this lovely mess, and we're going to slowly put it in this bowl. Now you're wondering, what bowl was this again? This was our dressing bowl, right? So I put all of our dressing in here, put our veggies. Now we actually need to mix and not get the veggies everywhere. Now your hands will get oily and sloppy and oh so gooey. But here's the best part. It smells so good. Right? Now the reason why I'm doing this from one section into the other is because I'm getting all of the veggies mixed up. Because I want all the veggies mixed up, right? We don't want anything to go to waste. Look at that. Look at that. It's crazy. Right? So I do it from one side, I pull in, because I'm getting all of it mixed together. And I'm trying to keep it from going outside. That's why I'm not coming from here or the center. I'm coming from outside in. If you notice, that's why I'm not losing a lot, besides that piece, as I say it. And then we try and get all of it coated. If we can get all of it coated, we know we've done a good job. And then we can have some fun. Alright, so here's the thing. Now we have to wait for 5 minutes for this to soak and have fun. And that time we're going to clean up our mess. We're going to wash my hands. And it's going to go into the oven for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to do our lemon zest. We're going to scrim that down and then add a little bit more olive oil. And we're good to go.
Go.
Alright, so our veggies are pretty much done. We're going to take them out. They have a nice golden brown crisp to them. I did save some of them for later because that's what we want. Nice. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so while I was away, I made way too much breadcrumb zest, but this is a breadcrumb zest. We're going to sprinkle some of this on there. And then the creme de la creme. We're going to do a tablespoon of oil. I have 3 hands. I'm actually going to do a little bit more oil. We're then going to take this, we're going to bowl it, then we're going to mix it. And that's it. We're done. So that is roasted veggies, and I'm going to sample. So good. So good. Alright, thank you guys so much.